Thank you for joining us as we visit some of the top Outlander filming locations in all of Scotland. Our very first stop is the Standing Stones featured in the title sequence of the Outlander series. These are the stones that Claire touched to go back into time. The actual hill is located in the middle of nowhere on a farm, surrounded by sheep, and it's kind of difficult to find, but I found it fairly easy with a little bit of research and using Google Maps. It's not open to the public, but if you can get permission to check it out, it's definitely worthwhile. Next up is Blackness Castle. This stood in for Fort William, where Blackjack Randall flogged Jamie Fraser, one of the most difficult to watch scenes in the Outlander series. Filming at Blackness Castle lasted about 2 months. They had to replace the metal railings with wood railings. The original castle dates back to the 15th century. It's been used as a castle, a prison, an armory, and it's just a short drive from Edinburgh. On our arrival to the castle, I recognized this area almost immediately as the area where they did the flogging of Jamie. It's a beautifully constructed place. It's not, I would say, a ruin. It's not fully finished, but as you can see, the ceilings have been reconstructed here, at least in this room, and it's in very, very good condition. Our next stop is Doune Castle. I was very excited to see this castle, not only from the use in the Outlander series, but it was also featured in Monty Python's Holy Grail, so it was kind of a double treat to see this castle in person. If you recall from the series, this is Castle Leoch, which is the seat of the clan Mackenzie, and this is one of the first times that Claire visits since she first saw it as a ruin in her present day. For Game of Thrones fans, this castle was also used in Game of Thrones. Several tons of mud were brought into the courtyard to make it look a period authentic to the Outlander era. Here you can see the courtyard as it looks today without all the mud. It's just a very nice green grass lawn. The castle, similar to the way it looks today, was acquired by Robert Stewart, who was the first Duke of Albany and the Governor of Scotland. Acquired the castle in 1361, so it's been around for many centuries. We really enjoyed our trip here. I would strongly recommend making this a part of your journey. And we spent, I would say, maybe a couple of hours while we were here. Next on the tour is Falkland, Scotland. Falkland stood in for Inverness. This is where Claire and Frank tried to rekindle their relationship after being away at war. They stayed at Mrs. Baird's B&B, which in reality is a Covenanter hotel, and that's actually where we stayed when we went to visit. The town is extremely quaint and very small. The producers of Outlander didn't have to do much to make Falkland look like it was from the 1940s. It probably hasn't aged in well over 100 years. Word of warning though, like a lot of small towns in Ireland, 5 o'clock hits, they shut down, and the only places open are the local pub. Falkland is also known for Falkland Palace. The grounds and property date back to 1160. We really enjoyed our stay at the Covenanter Hotel. Maybe not as much as Claire and Frank, because we had a small child with us, but we did enjoy it nonetheless. As soon as you first enter the hotel, you'll find photos from the set of Outlander, as well as some autographed photos of Claire and Frank. Inside the hotel is a quaint little lounge and bar area with a fireplace. They serve a complimentary continental breakfast in the morning, as well as bacon and eggs, so it was really very good. The rooms were small, but very nice, as you can see here. We really tried to get this room that Claire is brushing her hair in, but it was rented out at the time. One of the most controversial events in all of Outlander occurred here, which is the ghost of Jamie, or at least presumably so, as you can see here. Here's my wife and daughter standing at the exact location where the ghost of Jamie presumably stood. Next stop, Craigmillar Castle, just on the outskirts of Edinburgh. This castle played the part of Ardsmuir Prison, where Jamie was looked after by Lord John Grey. This castle is huge. There are so many nooks and crannies all over the place. While Craigmillar Castle is a ruin, it's one of the best preserved medieval castles in all of Scotland. Craigmillar Castle dates back to the late 14th century, and building continued throughout the 15th and 16th centuries. Mary, Queen of Scots, even resided in the castle in 1566. Here's an example of one of the dark corridors you can find within the castle. The courtyard in the interior of the castle was used for many scenes throughout Outlander. Took a little digging, but I found out where this scene with Lord John Grey and Jamie took place. So I overlaid an image of them on my own photo so you can get an exact location where this is set, so you can find it on your own when you visit. While the castle is a ruin, there's several rooms like these that are in remarkably good condition. Next on our tour is Hopetoun House and Estate. They use this for several scenes. The interior of Helwater, Ellesmere, the Duke of Sandringham's house, as well as many scenes from Paris were actually filmed on the estate here. You can see my wife and daughter here in the same room that Jamie just walked through. Here you see Geneva Dunsany in the back of Hopetoun House. As you can see, I was able to find that exact spot while I was there. This scene was filmed in the exact same quarter facing the opposite direction, and here you can see my photo of where that scene took place. Here's another angle from the front of Hopetoun House. This is one of the more touching moments from that season of Outlander. After doing a little digging, I was able to find the exact place where that moment occurred. This is probably the location that most people have been waiting for. What's known in the show Outlander, Lallybroch, it's actually called Midhope Castle, and it's home of the Fraser clan in this series. In reality, the interior is completely open. Everything is disintegrated, and really this is just a shell of a building. You cannot access the interior, but you might be able to spy inside through a couple of windows. What most people don't realize is directly behind this castle is an arborist skills training facility with all sorts of machinery and buildings and outbuildings. Nothing like the historical building that you see here. You notice the gate at the front is not fully enclosed. They had to build a building there in order to hide that big opening on the right-hand side. The filmmakers did a great job of making the two outbuildings behind Lallybroch look pretty presentable, because when you see how they actually look, they're in utter ruins and pretty unusable. Thanks for watching the video. Please subscribe to our channel, like this video, and if you have any questions or comments, please post those down below. We hope this video helps you plan your tour to Scotland. There are many more Outlander locations to visit, and we wish you the best of luck in finding those as well.